Why chosen ones are alone or broke. Hello, my dear friends. I want to talk to you about something deeply personal, something that I know many of you may be grappling with right now. It's a truth that's often hard to accept, but it's one that we can't ignore if we are to truly understand the path we're walking. You see, I've noticed something about the people who are called to a higher purpose. I've seen it in my own life, and I've seen it in the lives of so many others. There's a group of people, a special kind of soul, who seem to be set apart. They carry something within them, a divine spark, a unique calling that drives them towards something greater than themselves. These are the chosen ones. But here's the thing that most don't tell you. Being chosen comes at a cost. And often, that cost is one that's more painful than we could ever imagine. The chosen ones. They are often alone, and they are often broke. They face loneliness that cuts to the bone, and struggles that seem to drain the very essence of their being. And yet, in all of this, there is a purpose, a reason behind the solitude and the hardship. I want to tell you why this happens. I want to explain why those who are chosen often find themselves on a path that seems so different from what the world expects. You might feel this way right now. You might be questioning why your life isn't what you thought it would be. But I want to share with you something powerful. There is meaning in this struggle. There is divine purpose in your pain. So if you've ever felt alone, if you've ever felt like you're walking a road that nobody else understands, or if you've wondered why it seems like the more you try, the less you have, this message is for you. Stay with me. Let's talk about why the chosen ones are often alone or broke, and what that really means for your life. Section 1. The calling of the chosen ones. Let's start at the very beginning. What does it really mean to be chosen? When I say chosen, I'm not talking about a random selection or some magical lottery. No, my friends. I'm speaking about those of you who feel an inner pull, an unmistakable sense that you're here for something bigger than the world's fleeting pursuits. Something that stirs deep within your soul. Maybe it's not always clear. Maybe you're still figuring it out, but you know you can't ignore it. You've always felt different, set apart, like you're meant to do something more than what you see around you. This feeling, this calling, comes in many forms. For some, it's a calling to serve others, to lead, to create, or to fight for what's right. For others, it's a deep spiritual calling, a yearning to live a life that reflects a greater purpose. And let me tell you, if you're one of the chosen ones, this calling isn't a choice. It's a pull so powerful that it won't let you settle for anything less than living in alignment with what you were meant for. But here's the thing. When you are called to something higher, it doesn't come with a promise of a comfortable life. The chosen ones are often set apart for a reason, and that reason isn't always popular or easy. Think of the prophets in the Bible, Moses, Jeremiah, or even Christ himself. Did they live a life of luxury and acclaim? No. They were often rejected, misunderstood, and even persecuted for their calling. And yet, they pressed on. Why? Because they knew that the calling was worth more than anything the world had to offer. The same is true for you, my friends. So, if you feel different, if you feel out of place, remember, your calling is not a mistake. But don't expect the world to welcome you with open arms. In fact, your calling may lead you to a place of deep solitude. It's not that you're abandoned. It's that you're being set apart for something extraordinary. Section 2. Why the chosen ones are often alone. Now let's talk about something that might feel uncomfortable. Loneliness. When you're called to a higher purpose, you might find yourself walking a road that no one else understands. People around you might think you're crazy. You might have friends or family members who don't see things the way you do. You may feel isolated, even in a crowd, and yes, it hurts. But let me tell you something important. This loneliness is not a curse, my friends. It's a divine preparation. Being alone is not a punishment. It's often God's way of shaping you, refining you, and strengthening your resolve. Think about it. If everyone around you understood your path, If everyone accepted you as you are, would you truly be prepared for what's ahead? In those moments of solitude, you are forced to confront yourself. You're forced to dig deep into your heart and soul to understand who you really are and who you are becoming. It is in the silence that God speaks the loudest. It is when we are alone that we learn to rely on Him, not on the approval of others. Remember, even Jesus Himself spent time alone in the wilderness, being tested and prepared for His ministry. The disciples too had their moments of isolation and struggle. They had to walk away from what was familiar in order to fully embrace the mission ahead. So, if you feel alone right now, know that this is not the end of your story. This is just the beginning of something greater. Embrace the solitude. It is part of your spiritual growth. It is through this loneliness that you'll find your true connection to God and your purpose. Section 3. The financial struggles of the chosen ones. And now, let's talk about something that may sting for some of you: money. Or more specifically, the lack of it. I know there are many of you watching who have given your heart and soul to your calling, yet you find yourself struggling financially. It's as if the more you pour out, the less you seem to have in return. And that's hard. It's frustrating. You might feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but the bank account doesn't reflect your effort. But let me remind you of something powerful. True wealth is not measured by the number of zeros in your bank account. The world might tell you that success means having money, possessions, and comfort. But God's measure of wealth is very different. You see, the chosen ones are not always blessed with earthly riches, because their purpose is far greater than the pursuit of material wealth. Their treasure is stored up in heaven, not in a 401k. This doesn't mean you won't have financial struggles, though. Far from it. Many of the chosen ones go through seasons of lack. But why? Because God is teaching them to rely on Him. He is showing them that their worth is not tied to what they have, but to who they are in Him. Jesus Himself didn't live in wealth, but He had everything He needed to fulfill His mission. The same is true for you. So, if you're struggling financially right now, I want you to hear me. This is not the end of your story. God will provide. Maybe not in the way you expect, but He will give you just what you need at just the right time. And through it all, He is building something in you, a trust that is worth more than gold. Section 4. Why are the chosen ones tested in this way? I know some of you might be asking, why does God allow this? Why do the chosen ones have to go through such struggles? Why the loneliness? Why the financial hardship? The answer, my friends, is that divine purpose requires refinement. Just like a diamond is formed under pressure, so too are we refined through our trials. God allows these hardships because they prepare us for the mission ahead. We can't carry the weight of the calling He has for us unless we are made strong enough to do so. And this isn't just some spiritual lesson. It's the truth. Every challenge you face, every moment of struggle, is leading you toward something greater. It's building a foundation for you to carry out the work you're meant to do. Do you think Moses could have led the Israelites if he hadn't spent years in the desert, learning to trust God completely? Could David have defeated Goliath if he hadn't faced the lion and the bear first? My friends, what you're going through is not in vain. It is shaping you into the person God knows you need to be for what's coming. Trust that. Trust Him. Section 5. Embracing your own calling. Now I want to speak directly to those of you who feel that pull. You know you're chosen, but you might be discouraged by how lonely and difficult the road has been. I understand. It's not easy. But listen to me. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Embrace your calling, even when it feels like no one else does. Embrace it, even when the world mocks you. You were not meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to lead. And though the road is hard, it is the only road that leads to true fulfillment. I want to encourage you today. Keep going. Even when it seems like you have nothing left to give, keep going. God is using every moment, every tear, every heartache to mold you into the person you were always meant to be. You are not alone in this. And your story is not finished. Take heart, my friends. The world may not understand you, but God does, and He is with you every step of the way. Section 6. Conclusion. A call to action. So, my dear friends, I leave you with this. If you are one of the chosen ones, hold fast. Your loneliness is not a curse. Your struggles are not a punishment. These are simply the ways God is preparing you for what's to come. You are stronger than you know. You are more capable than you think. And you are loved by a God who will never leave you. If you feel weary, if you feel uncertain, turn to Him. Trust in His provision. You are not alone in this. You are exactly where you need to be. And so I bless you, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. May you find peace in your solitude and purpose in your struggles. Keep going. Your calling is worth it. God is with you, always.